Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Gayle is going to share tips and resources for bouncing back when things have gone wrong so that you can gain control of your business. During this 4-episode series, we'll look at what to do in this situation and how you can rebuild. In fact, how you can rise from the ashes like the proverbial phoenix. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Brand Builders TV. And with me today is myself, Gayle Edwards, the personal brand disruptor. So this is episode 3 now of a 4-part series called Lost for Words, which is all about beating the odds, facing adversity, bouncing back when things have really not gone according to plan. So we have looked at, over the past couple of weeks, we have looked at really when it's all gone wrong and you feel you've got nothing left to give, you are quite literally lost for words. What do you need to do? What's the first steps you need to make? And in that first episode, we talked a lot about self-care, a lot. And, you know, I'm of the opinion self-care is a success strategy. There is absolutely no doubt, because until we get our head right, until we start to feel right, it's so hard to move on. So all the best strategies, the best courses, the best mentors, all of that, none of it makes a blind bit of difference until we get ourselves right. So if you haven't yet seen that episode, please go back, watch it, implement it, start to get yourself feeling great, all right? Because that is the key. More than anything else, that is the key. However, we don't stay in that place, do we? We're entrepreneurs, we're business owners, we're professionals, we're leaders, trailblazers, game changers. So that being the case, we got to change the game. We've been there. We've had our little pity party. Now it's time to come back. So last week, in the 2nd episode, we talked about how to start to bounce back. What do we need to do? What do we need to do to bounce back? And I gave you a few strategies about extending your circles and, going into new markets, even new networks. All of that is perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. But now, week 3, we've really got our game on. Remember, we're game changers. So this is now where we really start to leverage, build that profile, extend our influence, because we're back on the rise. People need to know that we're here and we exist. So I'm going to give you some strategies, some resources, some tips on how to do that. How do you do that? Because this is your moment. This is when the phoenix literally rises from the ashes and people start to, woo, look at that. That thing of beauty is you. It's me. It's us. We all have that ability to literally rise from the ashes like the phoenix. So, how do you do that? Well, first things first, I hope in the past few weeks, a lot that you've been listening, that you've realized you've got to be really clear. So as you've been going through all that stuff, you've been getting clearer and clearer about your message and, who you are, what you do, and how you're showing up in the world. Because this is now where you're going to start to really spread that message beyond your existing network. This is where you start to build your tribe. So you've got to be clear about that message. And I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it. If you're not clear about your message, at least be clear about who you are. At least know that when you stand up in front of people, you are standing up in your own hallelujah, which is the personal branding process that I use with all of my clients. So by all means, download that. Go to bit.ly/hallelujah workbook and download it. Start to get really clear. Are you clear about what your impact is? Because they're the basics. You need to know those two things, your identity and your impact. Because once you do those, now we can start looking at leveraging, profiling, influence. So, visibility. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. How do you feel about visibility? Because most people, no matter what they've gone through, even if they haven't gone through adversity, when it comes to visibility, it's this, oh my God. Do I have to? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Who is going to know you if they don't know you, i.e. they cannot see you? Who is going to buy you if they cannot see you? Who is going to recommend you if they cannot see you? Visibility. Increase your visibility, and you can start small. Start in your familiar zone, amongst your network, amongst your group. Practice. Practice in the mirror. But visibility is key. And the one thing to remember about visibility is that those who can see you already know you. And yes, they may be great at referring you to others, but do you want to rely on them, or do you want to be self-sufficient? Increase your avenues of visibility. Go into other groups and networks. Use the social media platforms that are available to us. Facebook, you can go live. You can go live on your own timeline. You can go live in other people's groups. You can go live in your own group. So just on Facebook Live, just on Facebook alone, you have more than one place that you can go live, and that's only one platform. Did you know you can also go live on Twitter? Because they have their partnership with Periscope. So if Twitter's your place to hang out, go live. But did you know that Twitter now has a new function, a new voice function, where you can actually speak to your audience? If you've got a big following on Twitter, or you're building a following on Twitter, you can now speak to them. This is all part of your visibility. Instagram stories. Who doesn't love a selfie? Use stories. You use reels. They now have this thing called Instagram Reels, which is a bit like TikTok. Personally, I think I'm a bit old for it because I haven't yet found my vibe with it, but I will. But Instagram TV, IGTV, brilliant. You can sit there and you can tell people all about your expertise. You can share your expertise and your wisdom to people all around the world. That's visibility. And now we even have LinkedIn Live. There are so many ways and so many different types of people waiting to hear what you have to say. They want to know, is this the one for me? Is this the person that I've been waiting for? And remember what I said last week about your test becoming your testimony? Imagine you showing up And the person listening to you is the person that thinks, oh my gosh, I've just gone through that. I'm going through this. This is exactly what I needed to hear. So this is how you really start to leverage and build and start to influence others. Another thing, aside from visibility, new word, aside from visibility, joint ventures. Who can you partner with? Who has complementary, supplementary services to what you offer? There's somebody, you may even be in the same field, you may be in completely different fields. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you have a partnership that gels, that is able to offer something to your tribes. I partner with a couple of people. There's one person that Brand Builders will be very familiar with here on Brand Builders TV, Lubna Zaru, the Action Accelerator, strategic mentor. Lubna and I do similar, but also very different things, and definitely in very different ways. We make a really strong partnership because of that. Really strong partnership. We've helped each other with our development, with our own respective development because of that. Who do you know that you can partner with, that you can form a strategic alliance with? There's another group that I ran an event with. You know, the founder of that event, she's got 5 of us together from the very beginning, and we've now all come together. We've grown with the event. The event is now shaped. It's become, you know, the premier event of its kind in the world, not even just in Europe, but in the world. Magical creators for spiritual and intuitive entrepreneurs. That was an alliance that we formed because we had a common interest. And through that, we've now all been able to really extend our influence, but really become quite known in completely different marketplaces, till we are now cross-referring. You know, it's really quite interesting what you can do when you start to look at your business, not just as the place you come to make some money, but the place you come to make a difference. You've been through the mill. You've had an experience. You now have a testimony of that experience. Can you imagine the impact you can have with that now? How many other people need to know? How many other people are waiting for that hand up? They don't want a hand out. They just need a hand up. And you can provide them with that hand up. That support. So when we start to really build our profile now, yes, you're building your business still, and you're building yourself up, but now profiling in this from this perspective is all about helping others. How can you help those who are going through or have just gone through what you have been through? So you increase your visibility, as I've already said, so that they can see you, so they know that help is out there. They can see light at the end of the tunnel. You form joint ventures, collaborations with others who can help provide supplementary and complementary services to what you're providing. And the third thing, be a voice. Be a voice. And when I say be a voice, I'm talking about advocacy. If you feel strongly about this, there's nothing wrong with making this part of your mission and your vision. I feel really strongly about women who are like me, women who are in their midlife, particularly in their 50s. They're empty nesters. They feel that their life is over. They've lost their sense of purpose. They feel a little bit groggy because menopause is in full swing, and they're not quite sure. Oh my gosh, I am passionate about these women because they are me. I know how they feel because I have felt like that. I'm still there some days. They have become part of my mission. the disruptive midlifers, I'm calling them now, they're my women, because they know that just because they're going through that midlife menopause thing, they're not done yet. They're not over. You know, there's still stuff they want to do. They're still exploring. I am positioning and repositioning myself to really be inclusive with these women, because I know that I can help them. I know they can help me. So whatever it is that you've gone through and you've beaten the odds against, there is somebody, there is a tribe that needs you to be bold and courageous for them. Are you going to be that person? It may not be you. It may be somebody else, but you can still be a voice. Maybe you're the type of person that is more of a signpost person that says, look, you need to go and speak to. This is the person that I spoke to that helped me. So maybe you need to go and speak to them. You still become known as being somebody who knows how to help. Somebody who knows what to do. So if that's you and you've gone through the mill, for some people it's illness, for some people it's money worries, it's relationship woes, divorce, the children are acting up, it's loneliness. Sometimes it's a mixture of all of those, or it could be none of those. Because the truth is, it doesn't really matter at this stage. We're on episode 3. You've been through it. What matters now is that you show up for it. You show up to help those that are not here yet. This is how you extend your influence. This is how you build your profile. You talk about it. Draw about it. Oh my gosh, I met an amazing person the other day, right, who does fantastic drawings. And all these drawings are about her experiences in life. And she called it drawing through trauma or something, but it was just amazing. And she had been through a stillbirth. You know, I can't think of anything, as a mother myself, I can't think of anything more traumatic than going through a stillbirth. But the painting that she created from that, amazing, amazing. So much so I actually wanted to buy the painting, but she had already sold it to somebody else. Amazing. She's now showing up with organizations that help women that have gone through miscarriage and stillbirth, and teaching them how to use that grief and that pain to create something stunning. That's what I mean when I say about showing. She's become a person of influence and importance within that circle. Never let your drama, your despair, don't let that stop you. We can't let it stop us. Otherwise, we'd never get anything done. Life is what happens to us whilst we're busy making plans. So we can plan this perfect, wonderful business and this perfect life. And then the reality comes up and bites us on the backside. Oh, am I allowed to say that? Don't know. But I have now. It does, comes up and bites us on the bum. So what do? Do you stop? No, you don't. You sit on the sofa for a couple of days, get it out of your system, and then here we are again. And then we go through the process. Step 1, looking after ourselves. Right, we've got to look after ourselves. Step 2, right, what can I do? What's available to me? Step 3, right, okay, now how do I now use this? I've bounced back, so now how do I really build this to help somebody else? And then next week in episode 4, we're going to look at what comes next. What comes after that? What really happens? Things happen to us all the time, and we all know the saying, things happen to us all the time. It's not about what happens to us, it's about how we handle it. It's about how we handle it. Gosh, I could write books and books. If I decided I wanted to be an author for the rest of my life, I've got more than enough material. I don't need another thing to happen to me, right, for me to not be able to write volumes and volumes and volumes of books. And that's without anything else happening to me for the next 20 or 30 years, however, long of my life I've got left. And so have you. We've got reams of material. What are we going to do with it? I can guarantee that whatever it is that you're going through or been through or are scared of going through, because that's the other thing. Sometimes we think, I've done this, I don't know if you've done this, but sometimes we think ourselves into the despair. It hasn't even happened yet. And most people tend to do it in business around money. Oh my gosh, supposing I don't have enough money to pay my bills. Supposing, I don't have enough clients. You're not there yet. And they think themselves into the despair. So if you're one of those people that's not there yet, but you're thinking it, there's somebody else who's also the same. So what can you do to break that pattern that can also help them to break theirs? Remember, our test becomes our testimony. So I'm really looking forward to our next show, which is the final one in this particular series, Lost for Words, because I want to hear, I want to see, and I want to know what the difference is in your self-talk from when you first started watching episode 1 to where we are now in episode 3, but also next week. Because emotionally, that's a very different space, isn't it? Emotionally, where we were in episode 1, where we could barely talk about ourselves, much less what had happened. We could barely talk about what happened. We were embarrassed, we were shamed, we were guilty. Oh my gosh, I can't. To now, we're sharing our message. We're becoming more visible. We want to partner with other people. We're now ready to fully express what we've been through, what we've got to offer, who we are really. We're ready to put our stake in the ground and be an advocate and say, look, I know, I understand, I feel what you've gone through, and I want to be able to help you. That's a powerful place. That's a powerful place. So what I'd like you to do this week is to prepare for that power. Prepare for your power, because sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes our own power frightens us. So two things I want you to do this week. The first one is I want you to download Marianne Williamson's poem. In fact, if you've downloaded my Hallelujah workbook, it's actually in there already, so you don't need to download it again. But if you haven't, then I want you to download Marianne Williamson's poem, Our Deepest Fear. And it starts, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond belief. Did you hear that? I'm going to repeat it one more time. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but that we are powerful beyond belief. So you are going to be preparing for that power, because it is a fear, because we do think, oh my gosh, who am I? And Marianne goes on to explain in her poem, when we question ourselves, who am I to be talented? Who am I to be so bright? I'm paraphrasing a bit here. And she says, but who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Who are you not to be? And whether you believe in God or not, you may believe in a higher power, you may believe in the universe, the sentiment remains the same. Who are you not to be? So you need to prepare for that power. So I want you to start thinking about your new vocabulary. Think about the words that you use all the time, and then think of a more powerful word for it. So if you say to people, when people ask you, oh, what do you do? And you say, oh, I help. So, okay, let's use me as an example, really great example. So Gayle, what do you do? Oh, I help entrepreneurs to talk about themselves in a way that's more compelling. Oh, wow. Okay, thanks, Gayle. So much weakness in that sentence. So much weakness. I help. Oh, gosh, no offense to old ladies, but we help old ladies across the street, don't we? I help. I empower and inspire disruptive entrepreneurs to create compelling, magnetic, and confident messaging. Oh, okay. Great stuff. Same thing, more power in the words. I don't just help them, I empower them, I inspire them, and I use a process called standing up in your own hallelujah plus more to help them create messaging that's compelling. I use all my expertise as a marketeer, my expertise as a comms strategist and specialist, my expertise as someone who knows how to network and has been running networking training for many, many years. All of that comes into my work. And that's exactly how I want you to start thinking about your work and what you do, so that you can start to prepare for the power that's about to come. Because when you start being more visible and start working with more people and start being an advocate, putting your stake in the ground, that this is who I'm standing up for because this is what I believe in, the power is going to come. It's already here. So you need to be infusing yourself, your words, your business with that power. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. So start making a list, start strengthening up, start getting ready to amplify your voice, your message, your business, and your brand. And there endeth our third episode. It's been such a pleasure. I'm so excited for you for next week. And the words and the phrases that you're going to start using for yourself. Because that old language that you were using when we talked on episode 1, that's not the language. You've heard me say it before. What got you here is not going to get you there. So we need new language, new messaging. So until next week. Thank you very much for listening here on Brand Builders TV. I'll be back, Gayle Edwards, next Tuesday at 2:00 for our final episode in this Lost for Words series.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/brandbuilderstv. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.